Okay, here we go. Here we go. This is going to be not one of my typical videos. It's something I've been wanting to do for a while. Last night was a new episode of Ancient Aliens. I love that show. I accept this theory as reality. I've read a lot on it, something I've always been into. Ancient cultures all over the planet, on every continent, have told us the same story. Beings came down from the heavens in different types of craft and did all these things. And it's been documented, right? I mean, they literally took the time to carve this into stone and do paintings and everything else. Petroglyphs, pictographs, all that sort of thing. Last night's episode was good because they're talking about Tom DeLonge and the Blink 182 guy and Richard Elizondo, the guy that quit his job, right? Head of ATIP, investigating these things. The government's admitted that they've always been looking into the UFO thing, which is now UAP, unidentified aerial phenomenon. Jump back in time to 2008 lunar eclipse. I was taking pictures. And I did a quick edit afterwards and deleted a lot of the images. A couple weeks went by and I opened one up and I saw this thing in the corner. I cropped it and it's a freaking UFO, right? I didn't leave the house for 3 days thinking it out. Just thinking it out. Got my first camera when I was 9. I studied photography at Cypress University Community College when I was a Marine. And it's something, I understand parallax and light infractions. And it's none of that. Then I went and looked at all the images. And this thing, it changes pitch, it flies away, it comes back, stays in relatively the same spot from the moon the whole time. At one point, another one comes up underneath, and then that one flies away. Then I started taking pictures at night of other nights with other cameras, and I'm just going to get to it now and show you what I have here and try to explain what's going on, okay? Low tech here, so the screen's got a little reflection. I apologize. This first image I screwed up because I had the flash on, so it got nothing. These first few images are interesting because they are, why that orange reflection is there, but that's not part of this here is not part of the image. I can't see it on my screen, but I can see it on the picture screen. But there's the UFO there. There's the moon, and it's fuzzy here because I was hand holding it. And just to explain, eventually I put the thing on a tripod, which we'll see here in a second. There it is. So there, everything's in sharper focus. And there's the little craft down there. I was watching TV, and when the commercials would come on, I would go outside and click some pictures. So we're just going to click through these till I get to the end. Right there, I was moving the camera around to keep the moon in the center, and this is a power line going across my back porch. I'm looking out towards Dodger Stadium, so that's basically east from where I live. Craft is still down here. You can see it right there. And I would go out there and adjust the camera and then snap a few images and go back in and watch some TV. That's how this was working here. So I want to get to the point where there's 2 of them in the image. Try to get through this pretty quick here. There it is. So there's a second craft right here. There's the first craft still. This is glare reflection off the computer, so I apologize about that. But there's your first UFO. It's been there the whole time. There's the second one. This one actually, if you looked at the original images, comes up and then it flies away. You can see the light on the moon. This will show you the time elapse. So as it goes further on, what's happening here is that the Earth is moving and more of the light is going to be revealed on the moon. See here. That was, I had the flash on by mistake there. You see what's happening here. So we're seeing more of the sun reflecting off the moon here. The craft is still over here. Okay, now we're getting to the tight shots of it. So, not the best one for focus. There we go. That's a pretty good one. Now, let me explain a couple things to you. So, I have a friend who is a professional photographer. He teaches 2 college-level courses in Pasadena. He gets hired all the time to analyze images to tell if they're real or not. He was hired to prove whether or not that image of JFK on the yacht with the topless women was real. It was fake. He goes to court, like I said, all the time. He did the images of Oscar de la Hoya in the fishnet stockings, women's underwear, basically, with the high heels. That's a real image, actually. That wasn't faked. And he analyzed my camera, which was an Olympus. I had a screw-on telephoto lens. I had it set to infinity with no flash. And he's like, well, there's nothing wrong with the camera. That's clearly an object in the sky with radiating light from it into the space around it. I also had the images looked at by a friend of mine who is he's not a believer, and he's a major skeptic, but he is a graphic arts wizard on the computer with Photoshop and all that. He always gets the latest digital technology. He's a digital photographer. He looked at the images too, same thing. It's object in the sky. I don't have the ability to fake this. I don't know how to do that. I mean, I don't know how to edit. Look what I'm doing here. It's horrible. So, and I'm an honest guy. So this is what we're looking at here. So there's a few more images of this thing. Also, you have to think about this. I did false positives too, where I was testing the waters with the same settings on the camera and photographing airplanes and helicopters. And when you do that, as you might know, you should know, you'll see like a jaggedy line if it's a helicopter, or a straight line going through the sky of light if it's a plane. Excuse me. This thing was able to stay in focus for 5 to 7 seconds. Perfect focus. Well, I don't think we have anything that can do that. I don't think you could photograph a helicopter in perfect focus without it being sketchy. You don't think you'd be able to do that. So, I mean, look at these weird holes on this thing, right? Very strange. The rest of these images are me messing with contrast in Photoshop, just trying to get more definition out of this thing. I mean, that is the definition of a UFO. It's round. We're seeing it from the side. There's a dome on the top and the bottom. I have another picture folder that shows these where they go from this angle to this angle, so you can see the circle of it. It also shows some of the ways that it flies. They jump across the sky from point to point. Very odd. Very odd. Again, messing with contrast. Contrast. Again, I was taking the darkness away from the background to try to, show you as much detail as possible. I mean, those white dots there are actually in my screen. I sent these images to everybody. MUFON, you name it. Nobody was interested. I sent them to the news. Nobody cared. Friends of mine cared. They thought they were pretty cool. So this is real, man. It's no joke. I'm not making anything up. I'm not saying it's little green people or anything like that. I'm just saying this thing existed in the sky. I'll show you another picture folder here. Let's see here. This is good now. So what I did in this folder was this was different nights. And I'll show you one image and then the cropped version. It's right there. And it's got this, it kind of looks like a pig's tail, squiggly tail. All right, so the pigtail image, we call this. So the craft, I think, is right here. But it flew. It's doing a circle here, comes around, does a circle here, comes around, does a circle here, comes around. Whew. I think it's, I don't know what's going on here. But if that was a human in 5 seconds flying like that, I think they'd be dead. I think that's the way that works. If there was somebody in that thing. It's just crazy. So there's one over here. I can see it. Next image is the crop of it. Dead side shot. Another image. I think these are from an image where I had like 9 of them in one image. It's pretty crazy. I have an odd theory. I think when you think about abductions, when people talk about UFOs, there's 3 of them right here. 1, 2, 3. And people talk about the cone of light that comes down. And then you talk to people who talk about near-death experiences, and there's this white light you walk into. My theory is that maybe, I believe we're pure light beings. I don't think we ever really die. I think we're just having a human experience right now within our bodies. You know, I think that, imagine you're a pure light being and you actually know everything. You're coming here with amnesia to have all these experiences in this human form. And you have this free will. You could participate in the political nonsense, whatever you want to do. You get to eat, run around, have sex, have families, do all these things you can't do if you're a pure light being. It's like a vacation from everything. And I wonder if you're being tested with that. You know, if you read the book of Enoch, he talks about being taken up in one of these craft and flown around the planet. He talks about what happens to our souls when we die. And there's like these 3 vessels that they go into based on how you lived your life. I don't know, but it's my theory. I'm just trying to figure it out, you know. So let's see here. What else we got? Same folder. These are all different nights, like I was saying. Now this one here, you can see it more from the top. So it's got more of like a roundness to it. You can see the shape better. Now this is interesting. I'm going to crop this here. The next few images you'll see. This is the flight pattern. So within a few seconds, it jumps from here to here to here to here to here. It's going to get depicted much better in the next few images. Should be mind-boggling here. Just the contrast for, you know, darkness to just try to make it appear better for you. But that's like the top of it, and the roundness here is interesting to me. It's moving so fast. Again, I'm cropping these. I cropped these at the time on my Dell desktop. You see the holes in here. They match kind of that other craft. It's daytime. Something shooting across there. It's funny. It kind of looks like an alien face. Right? Okay, this is the most amazing one. This is looking out over Paramount Studios. These are not light infractions. This craft is here. It jumps from here to here to here. You know, again, all in one shot. This is a power line here. Looking out off my back deck. The Hollywood sign is up here. Darkened it up a bit here. So here's a nice crop of this thing. So it's there. It's here, and then it flies off over here somewhere. You can't see it. It's so dark. So there's a nice tight crop of this. Look at this thing. It almost looks like a Buddha sitting up there. This is very reminiscent of what you see in India. If you look at the Vedic text, if you look at the architecture there, that's kind of what they look like. It's pretty crazy. Pretty nuts. Again, you can't see it with the naked eye. That's it off to the left when it shoots off the screen. That's what we see there. I guess that's the end of that picture folder. So I'll go back to this other one and talk to you for a minute here. I think I will. Maybe I won't. So we'll just shoot back down here because these were the first images I took that kind of blew everybody's mind. You know, I don't know what to tell you other than, I mean, I'm being honest with you. These are images I captured. Again, I didn't see anything with the naked eye. I was scanning the sky with the 10 by 50 binoculars. I think what's going on is that light is pure, brilliant white light, and it's infracting through the lens, and that's why we see the full color spectrum. And I think it pulses at a rate that makes it invisible to the naked eye. Like if you took a picture of an old TV screen, you would see lines going through the screen that we can't see when we're watching it because they just pulse at a rate that, again, we can't see. I think that's what's going on. I think that's why animals see things that we don't. Our eyeballs function different than other critters on the planet, right? Anyhow, I mean, I don't know what to tell you as far as, hey, are there aliens out there, beings from other planets? I think there probably is. It bothers me that there is in a weird way because it doesn't explain my theory of the pure light being that we are. Maybe some of us are that. Maybe some of us aren't. I don't like the idea of the different beings and different crafts coming from different places. It smacks of like a bureaucracy going on, and that's more of like a human concept in my mind. It's like when you watch an old movie and somebody dies and they gotta, there's like these bureaucracies you have to go through, people standing on line, defending your life, whatever. I think that's nonsense. I think that's all a human invention, like a lot of things that we believe on this planet are. So I don't know what to tell you other than I took these images. They're not faked. I didn't invent any of this. This is what I captured on the camera, and I shared them. And when I shared them, it blew a lot of people's minds. It led to some interesting conversations and meeting new people, and it changed my life. I have this whole, totally changed the outlook of my life. I realized none of this is really all that important. I'm kind of excited about the next thing. I had a death experience on my 50th birthday 5 years ago. I've told some people about it, and it's pretty crazy. I was out of my body completely, and I was surrounded by pure gold, infinite space, and this voice is talking to me, and it says, "You can go home now." And I'm going to make this story short because I want to give the whole background to all this. But I mulled it over, and I said, well, life has been kind of interesting lately. Maybe I should stick around a little while longer. I was helping a lot of people out through social media and helping people get in better shape, that sort of thing, being a positive influence with a lot of my friends. And he said, okay. And I just went backwards, like 1,000,000 miles an hour, and went right into my brain, right through my head. And my body had not had any air in it for quite some time. And I sat up. I couldn't see. It took a while for my eyes to focus, and there had been drool down my mouth and everything. I don't know how I ended up there. All I know is I ended up on the floor of my living room. And that experience led to some other things that totally changed my outlook on life, and the last 5 years have been the best 5 years of my life. So it's interesting. There's big stuff going on. So every time you get a little mired down and stressed out over this existence you're having right now, don't let it get you down, because it's not the end, and it's not lights out when you kick off, because you're not really dying. You're being released, and you're going to go on to the next thing, whatever that is. And whether or not you want to accept that, I will tell you that if you do accept that as your reality, it will make you a happier person. You'll have a lot less stress, and you won't have fear. People who are afraid of dying never truly live. So be good to one another. Think about this stuff. Think about things that are bigger than yourself. Look up at the sky. Pay attention to what's going on with this disclosure thing. It's going to happen. It's just being done slowly. They're getting you used to the idea. I don't think that they're here to hurt us necessarily. You could think that they want... I have other theories I'm not going to get into right now, because I don't know what I'm talking about. They're just things I'm thinking. Have a good day. Keep looking up at the sky. This is no joke.